I never thought my secret would be exposed like this. The cold air brushed against my bare shoulders as I stared at my reflection in the mirror, a reflection that wasn't supposed to exist. My hands trembled as they ran over the silky pink dress hugging my body, the soft fabric whispering against my skin like a forbidden secret. My long glossy curls framed my face, and the glossy red lips I had painted hours ago parted in shock. Footsteps echoed down the hallway. My heart pounded. No, it couldn't be. Not now. Emma wasn't supposed to be home yet. I had at least another hour. An hour to peel away this fantasy and go back to being the man she knew or thought she knew. The doorknob rattled. "Baby, are you home?" Her voice was sweet, familiar, but in this moment, it felt like the voice of my doom. I stood frozen, my painted nails gripping the edge of the dresser. The wig, the dress, the heels, everything screamed my secret. If she saw me like this, there would be no going back. The door creaked open, and in that instant, I knew my life would never be the same again. My name is Ethan, and for as long as I can remember, I have lived with a secret. By day, I was the confident, charming guy everyone expected me to be. I worked at a sleek marketing firm, where I played the part of a sharp-dressed, ambitious man climbing the corporate ladder. My colleagues saw me as driven. My friends knew me as fun-loving. And my girlfriend, Emma, saw me as the perfect boyfriend. But at night, I was someone else. Alone in the safety of my apartment, I became the person I truly longed to be. Silk, lace, satin, these weren't just fabrics to me. They were pieces of a hidden identity, a life I had never dared to share. The moment I slipped into a dress, painted my lips, and ran a brush through my wig, I felt an intoxicating mix of fear and euphoria. It was a thrill, a dangerous thrill. I had kept this secret from everyone, especially Emma. She was smart, beautiful, and had a fiery personality that made her unforgettable. She had been my rock for 3 years. We had built a life together, one filled with late-night laughter, whispered dreams, and stolen kisses. But there was one thing she could never know, the part of me that wasn't the man she thought I was. I had convinced myself that I could control it, that I could live 2 lives without them ever colliding. But secrets have a way of unraveling when you least expect them to. And Emma? Emma wasn't the type of girl who forgave betrayal. It all started with a simple lie. "I'll be working late tonight," Emma had said that morning, giving me a quick kiss before heading out the door. That was all the permission I needed. The moment she left, I locked the door and rushed to my secret stash. I felt my pulse quicken as I carefully pulled out the lace lingerie, the elegant dress, and the shimmering heels. The transformation was seamless, like slipping into a second skin. By the time I stood in front of the mirror, I wasn't Ethan anymore. I was someone else, someone free. But freedom comes at a price. The phone buzzed. A single text message shattered everything. My breath hitched. 5 minutes. 5 minutes to erase all traces of the life I had just embraced. 5 minutes before everything changed forever. For days, Daniel couldn't shake off the sensation of Emma's lingering words. Would she really marry me if she knew the truth? The thought gnawed at his conscience, but an undeniable force tugged at his desires. At work, numbers blurred before his eyes. His fingers aimlessly tapped the keyboard while his mind wandered. His colleagues barely noticed Daniel was always the quiet, dependable type, never drawing attention. But inside, a storm raged. He wanted he needed to feel the silk, the soft embrace of femininity once more. It had been weeks since his last indulgence, and now, with Emma's trip keeping her away for the night, temptation whispered in his ear. Back home, Daniel locked the door, his heart pounding. The silence of the apartment stretched before him, both freeing and ominous. He stepped into their shared bedroom, eyes lingering on Emma's walk-in closet. Every inch of it radiated her elegance, rows of neatly hung dresses, delicate lingerie folded with care, and the faint scent of lavender and perfume. His pulse quickened. He reached out, trembling, tracing his fingers over a soft pink nightgown. The silk slid between his fingers like water, igniting something deep within. Breathless, he pulled the fabric against himself, letting it drape over his chest. A rush of warmth coursed through him, just for a little while. With practiced hands, he stripped away his dull, masculine clothes, replacing them with Emma's delicate pieces. The bra was a challenge, one he'd perfected over time, but once it hugged his chest, he exhaled, lost in the illusion. The panties followed, then the nightgown, draping over him like a lover's touch. The mirror beckoned. He hesitated, then stepped closer, gazing at his reflection. And there she was, not Daniel, but Danielle. His lips parted, admiration and shame warring in his chest. He looked beautiful. A surge of adrenaline hit him. His heart pounded. The thought of being caught sent a rush through his veins. A small idea slithered into his mind. Makeup. Would it be too much? Too risky? Daniel swallowed. His hands moved on their own, reaching for Emma's makeup bag. A touch of foundation, a sweep of mascara, and then the lipstick. Deep red, bold, dangerous. With trembling fingers, he applied it, watching as Danielle came to life. His reflection smiled back, and for a brief moment, he wasn't pretending. He was her. Then a noise. A thump. His heart nearly stopped. The sound had come from the front door. Panic gripped him. His hands flew to his face, smearing the lipstick. His breath hitched as he listened. Another sound, this time footsteps. Emma wasn't supposed to be home yet. Was it a neighbor? A burglar? His stomach twisted. If someone saw him like this, the thrill had turned into terror. What should he do? Before he could react, his phone vibrated on the dresser. A message flashed on the screen. Emma, hey babe, I have a surprise for you. Be there in 5. Love you. His blood ran cold. Emma was coming home, and he was standing in the middle of their bedroom, fully dressed as a woman. Time was running out. Daniel's pulse thundered in his ears. Emma would be home in 5 minutes. 5 minutes to erase every trace of Danielle. 5 minutes to become the man she knew, the man she thought she loved. His hands shook as he grabbed a tissue, frantically scrubbing the smeared lipstick from his lips. The red stain refused to disappear completely, leaving behind a faint tint. His reflection mocked him, half Danielle, half Daniel, a man trapped in transition. Think. He reached for a towel, desperate to wipe the foundation from his face. But in his rush, the towel knocked over Emma's perfume bottle, sending it crashing to the floor. The scent of jasmine and vanilla filled the air. Panic surged through him. She'll smell it. She'll know. There was no time. He had to strip. He yanked off the silk nightgown, his fingers fumbling with the bra clasp. But his hands were slick with sweat, and the hook refused to budge. A car engine hummed outside. His breath hitched. Emma. She was here. The front door clicked open. Daniel's fingers trembled, still struggling with the bra clasp. He yanked harder, but it wouldn't come undone. Daniel. Babe? Emma's voice rang through the apartment. Footsteps. Getting closer. His body locked up. He was out of time. The bedroom door swung open, and there she stood. Emma. Her eyes widened, scanning him, his flushed face, the red-stained lips, the black lace bra still clinging to his chest, the broken perfume bottle at his feet. A long, heavy silence filled the room. Daniel's mouth opened, but no words came. Emma blinked once, then again, then laughter. Soft at first, then growing, twisting into something bitter, something dark. You. She took a step forward. You lied to me. Her voice wasn't angry. It wasn't sad. It was something worse. Cold. Emma, I don't. Her jaw tightened. Don't you dare. How long? He swallowed hard. I can explain. She crossed her arms. Oh, I bet you can. Her gaze flicked to the vanity. Whose makeup is that? Daniel hesitated. Her lips curled. Say it. Silence. Emma exhaled sharply. Unbelievable. Her hand reached into her pocket. For a terrifying second, Daniel thought she might hit him. But instead, she pulled out her phone. She's going to tell someone. Emma, please, don't. She held up a finger. One word, Daniel, and I swear, I will ruin you. His stomach lurched. What are you doing? His voice cracked. She smirked. You love dressing up like a woman. Her finger hovered over the record button. Then let's make sure everyone sees you that way. Daniel's blood turned to ice. She wouldn't. She couldn't. But Emma had always been unpredictable. And now, she had the upper hand. He wasn't sure if he feared losing her or what she would do next. Emma's finger tapped the screen. A flash. A click. His secret captured forever. Daniel stood frozen, watching as Emma tilted her head, considering her next move. Now, she whispered, slipping the phone back into her pocket. Let's talk about your punishment. A slow, wicked smile spread across her lips. Daniel's nightmare had just begun. Daniel's knees felt weak. His body screamed at him to move, to do something, but he was frozen, trapped under Emma's merciless gaze. Her fingers drummed lightly against her phone. That single photo, one click, one upload, and his entire life would shatter. He swallowed hard. Emma, please. Her lips curled. Please what, babe? Please don't tell anyone. Please that you keep lying to me. Daniel shook his head frantically. No, it's not like that. She tilted her head. Oh, then what is it like? His mouth opened, but no words came. Because the truth was worse than a lie. Emma leaned in, voice dropping to a whisper. You like it, don't you? Daniel's breath hitched. She smirked. The soft fabric, the lipstick, the heels. You don't just do this, Daniel. You enjoy it. A fresh wave of shame crashed over him. He couldn't deny it, not with the way his body trembled, the way his pulse quickened. Emma's smirk widened. That's what I thought. She stepped back, arms crossing. All right, babe. Here's how this is gonna go. Daniel's stomach twisted. You have two choices, she continued. One, she held up a finger. I send this picture to everyone. Your friends, your job, your family. You'll never be Daniel again. Just Danielle. And everyone will know. Daniel's heart slammed against his ribs. Or, she smiled sweetly. You let me take control. His breath caught. W, what do you mean? Emma leaned in again, her voice dripping with amusement. I mean, she traced a finger along his jaw. You're mine now. Daniel's throat went dry. You will be Danielle, she whispered. Not just in secret. Not just for fun. For real. His stomach lurched. Emma, you can't. Her nails dug into his chin, forcing his eyes to meet hers. I can. A slow, wicked smile. And I will. Emma stepped back, crossing her arms as she watched him tremble. Well, she said, tilting her head. What's it gonna be? Daniel's mind spun. There was no way out, no right choice. Either way, he lost. But one path led to total destruction. The other, his gaze flickered to Emma's phone. He exhaled shackily. What do you want me to do? Emma's grin was victorious. She turned, walking toward the closet. Daniel's stomach twisted. She threw the doors open, revealing a selection of dresses, skirts, and lingerie that she had never worn. His blood ran cold. This wasn't just a game. She had planned this. She had been waiting for this moment. Emma turned back to him, holding up a dress. Put this on. Daniel stared. This was it. The moment he stopped being Daniel and became Danielle forever. To be continued. The screen fades to black. A final line appears. What should Daniel do next? Comment below.